Hello residents of Meepletown. Today we are looking at Age of Civilization, which is as you can tell, a very small box game where you are going to be building up your civilization. You're going to be drafting the civilization cards, you're going to be building wonders, and basically you're just going to try to get the most points and be the victor by the end of the game by having the most points. So let's get to the table and check out Age of Civilization. Alright, so here we have the setup for Age of Civilization. We've each got our own technology cards. I'll explain those here in just a little while. We've got these wonders that are available to build up here. We have these civilization cards that we'll be talking about really briefly, coming up soon. And then we have the worker placement track here. And we're just going to jump right into this. So at the start of the game, we've got the first player marker, which the yellow player will be the first players. And they're going to take one of these civilization cards right here. And I think they're going to take this Siam one right here, which they will immediately get the amount of workers that are placed on the spot whenever you rise a civilization. Now, you're only going to be able to have a total of 3 civilization cards there throughout the game. So you do have to kind of plan out which cards you want to take. After I do that, I'm immediately going to take a coin and put it in each of the spots left over, and then flip a new civilization card over, and that will make those other cards more appealing as the game goes on and coins begin to stack up there. So after I've done that, I've got my 4 workers. This is my workforce, and I will then use these to take my actions. Now, at the beginning of the game, we have all these first 6 spots available. As the game goes on, this will slide up, and now I'll have this set of 6 spots for the next round. So that's something you have to think about. This is always the same card. These are randomized. And in fact, in this game, it's a really big benefit that the play came out at the very beginning, because in the play, you'll lose a worker, but we'll get to skip that because it's not going to happen as this slides up. So basically, when this slides up, if it goes above a card that has that symbol in the top left-hand corner, it's going to trigger that, and it will not do it in this game. So let's see. Now that I have all of my workers, I'm going to place them and take those actions. One thing I didn't mention is that you also get these abilities on the card. Mine is when I farm, I'm going to gain an additional coin. The farm action is available right now, so it wouldn't make sense for me to skip that action, so I'll place 2 workers there. That's how many it takes for this spot. The white ones means that you'll get them back at the end of the round. If you use the red ones, like in these spots, you will lose them at the end of the round. So I'll place 2 there. I'll get 3 coins plus the 1 coin from there, and I will take 4 coins. Now I've got 2 workers left, and I might as well go ahead and get some more money, I think. So I'm just going to go to trade. That will give me 2 coins. It will give the other players 1 coin, but it still is beneficial for me to do that, I think. And then for my last action, I'm going to take this worker and I'm going to put it on the wonder spot. Now, the wonder spot, it's going to cost 7 to build one of these wonders up here, and you'll lose this worker. However, immediately you'll gain 3 points. And points are hard to come by in this game. You're not going to score a ton of points, and so 3 points is actually quite a bit. So I will build Stonehenge right off the bat. Oh, first I have to pay my money, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The golds count as 3 coins. And when I do this, it says, when I gain this, if I have no science, if I have no technology markers on my track, then I'm going to gain 2 victory points, which I'll go ahead and do that. And getting 5 points in 1 round is really, really good. And so I don't mind getting this one off the bat, because as I start to build up technology, Stonehenge will not be valuable anymore. So then after I do that, I'm going to take my workers back off of the board. The one that I used for the wonder, that's going to be gone for now. I might be able to gain it back later. And then it is the second player's turn to take their actions after they rise a civilization. And I think they're kind of eyeing another one that can be beneficial and potentially hurt the other player. And so they're going to take the Viking clan, which gives them, or civilization, which is going to give them 1 coin. It gives me a spot to take the fishing action, my own special spot that I can take by myself, which fishing gives you 1 coin. And then It also says that other players cannot trade, which means the yellow player will not be able to take this trade action. Immediately I'm going to gain 3 workers, and I'll be able to use those right away to take my actions. And so I think what I'll do is, farming did pay off nicely. It's 3 points. I think 3 coins. I think I will do that. Take the farming action, which is going to give me 3 coins. Now, I could have taken the trade action, but I don't want to give other players another turn. I'll explain that in just a second. Actually, yeah, let me take that action back and let me show you what I was saying. So I'm going to research. It's going to cost $4 to research, and I'll pay those $4 there with my worker. I immediately gain a victory point right here, and then I get to gain a cube to go on my technology track, and I will put it on sailing. Now, sailing will give me a defense for when a battle happens. So now Vikings also gives me 1, so now I have 2. And along with that, when I take the trade action, I get an additional coin, and that's what I meant. I can only spend 1 worker to take the trade action and get 3 coins, just like farming. However, it would give the yellow player an additional coin, and so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to take these again like I was originally going to do, take my 3 coins, and that will be all of my workers. I'll take these back. I get all of those back. And then I will take the first player marker. This is going to slide down 1 on the track. And now these will be our new actions that we can take. Now I will go ahead and play through 1 more round because this does play through pretty quickly. Oh, and I did not do this. Put my coins here for the cards that were not taken. A new one comes out, which is Mongolia, which gives you a lot of defense for battle. So I'll take my turn. I mentioned this at the beginning of the game that when you take your civilization, you have to take one at the beginning of the game, but you can't have more than 3. Now I can take this as a civilization to put it here, and this be my new special ability, excuse me, over top of here. I would still get my secondary special ability from the other card, but now I would have a new special ability. I can also annex this card as my first action, and that would go underneath this card. And when I do that, I'm not going to gain the workers listed on there. However, I will gain 1 worker from my supply in here, and I will get that bottom part of the action. That being said, I'm not going to do any of that because I'm pretty satisfied with the Vikings that I have right now. I will take the rest of my actions. I think right now I would like to be able to try to build a wonder, and so I will once again, I will take the farm action to give me 3 coins with 2 workers, and then I will take my 3rd worker and I will build a wonder. So I will pay all of my money, that's 7, and I will move up 1, 2, 3 on the victory point track, and then I'll gain a wonder. And in this case, I think what I would like to do is gain Machu Picchu, which means when somebody takes the build action, I'm going to gain a victory point. When I build, I can gain a victory point. Excuse me. Make that clear. When I build, I can take an additional victory point, which means I'll get 3 instead of just the 2 that are listed on there. So I took all 3 of my actions. I'll take all of these off again. It will be the yellow player's turn, and they will also stick with the civilization that they have. They still have 3 workers left, and remember, I cannot take the trade spot. So I will take the farming spot with these 2. Now this is about to go away, so we're trying to take advantage of that as much as we can. I get an additional coin from farming, if you remember. And then I will immediately spend those 4 that I just got to research. And when I research, I see that I'm falling behind on the military track. A battle's about to happen in this next round, and so I do need to build that up. I also would like to be able to I could gain a victory point from culture, which is really helpful. I think I will forego the military right now, just do writing, and now when I take the culture action, instead of getting 2, I will get 3 victory points, and so similar to the build action. All right, so I'll just show you how that battle would play out since the white player has a stronger military value. We take our workers back. This is going to switch back over to the yellow player as the start player. This will slide down. Now, as soon as this slides down, this battle will occur. Whoever has the weakest army, in this case, it's going to be the yellow player, they will lose a worker to the supply. So I didn't play that last action probably very smart. I probably should have built up my military instead, but I wanted to show you how that played out. So I'll lose a worker to the supply, and then we'll just keep playing this game. This is going to keep sliding down, and once we play all the rounds, you add up your points. Whoever has the most points is going to be the winner. Let's get out of here and look at the art and components. As far as the components go, you get wooden coins, which are nice. You get the meeples. Now, again, I've got the Kickstarter version, so I've got the player mat, I've got the stickers that go on the meeples, so I really enjoy all of those things. But even in the base game, because it's such a small box game, I think the components are totally fine. But the gameplay, let's move on to that. So, sometimes when you play a small box game, you expect to get not a lot of game out of that. And now I will start by saying that I knew what I was getting into when I kickstarted this game. I knew that I wanted a small box Civilization game that gave me a feel of a Civilization game in a shorter amount of time, and not one that was going to take up a huge, a huge amount of my shelf space. And so I got exactly what I was looking for in that. I really enjoy a lot of things about this game. I enjoy the Civilization cards that you're drafting. I like the fact that you can only have 3, and so you really have to think about, do I want to keep this card because I really like the benefit of it, or if I've already lost several of the meeples off of it, should I get a new civilization so that I can gain more meeples and then gain another ability, but plus have my secondary ability at the bottom? Or do I want to annex a new card and gain 1 new worker, keep the ability that I really like? And those decisions, I think, are really interesting. And you only have 6 worker placement spots per each turn, but there is still a lot to think about. You have to think about what's going to happen in the future. Do I need a lot of money right now so that I can use that money in later rounds to just buy victory points, or to buy a wonder, or to move up on the research track? There's a lot of different things that you have to consider within that. And I like the fact that with those worker placement spots at the end, those cards, those are randomized, and so you get a different setup each game. You also get a ton of Civilization cards, which is a huge benefit. I like the variability that comes from the Civilization cards, which I think is kind of like the crux of this game, the thing that really drives it, and it's where most of the variability comes into the game. The wonders, there's a lot of wonders too, but you're only going to be able to build 5 total per game, and that becomes quite the challenge, right? It's going to be a challenge. In a 2-player game that we were playing, you're only going to have 5 options, and so you've got several that can come out different games, but only those static ones that will be there the entire game. I will say that the variability does not come from the tech track. In the game that we had set up, you've got that 1 card that shows your technologies. Everybody has the same card. They're building the same technologies, and so there's not a lot of variety in that. However, if you add in the mini expansion with it, now I'll be honest, I'm not sure if that comes with the base game or if that was a Kickstarter thing, but you have these tech cards that you can purchase throughout the game, and they can fill those spots on your board so that your tech track will be a lot different than the other people's cards that they have. Not a lot different, but one of the columns will be different, I guess, which does add some variety to that. So all that to say, I really enjoy all those things that I've talked about. Again, small box, short time frame Civilization game was exactly what I wanted, and that's what I got. So that's why I'm going to give this game an 8 out of 10. With a caveat. So for me, it's an 8 out of 10 because that's exactly what I was looking for. If you're looking for more, if you're looking for something that's like a Through the Ages or a Sid Meier's Civilization or any of those other, big box nations, big box Civilization game, you're not going to get that in this game. But if you know what you're looking for and this is something that really appeals to you, I really recommend you check this one out. I do think it's a lot of fun. I'm going to get a lot of plays out of this, and I'll be able to teach it to a lot of different people because the gameplay is so simple. So anyway, that's an 8 out of 10 for me. If you want to get in touch with us, you can reach out to us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. That's at Meepletown Games. You can go to our website. That's meepletowngames.com. And when you go there, you'll see videos. You'll see our podcast that's on there. You'll see some written blogs from Jonathan. Great place to check out. Also, you can get in touch with us and reach out to our community, and that is through our Board Game Geek Guild, guild number 3407. Thanks for coming down to Meepletown.
Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Meepletown Games, and connect with us on the Meepletown Guild, Guild number 3407, at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.